Payment to contractors. Payment is about to start from the end of this month. The Minister of Finance has put some money aside to begin to clear the arrears of contractors. So I'm sure that some of the contractors who have been working on your projects will be paid so that they can go back on site and continue their work. He's prioritizing payments to road contractors because several of the road contracts have stalled and slowed down. And as you're aware, some people have threatened to demonstrate on the Ofankor Road on Saturday. And so getting the contractors to go back to site and continue work as quickly as possible is one of the priorities of government.
But we'll stay at the presidency because it's been exactly 6 months since John Dramani Mahama was sworn in, returning to the presidency after 8 years. Some have described him as the most prepared president by far, while others believe his good start may soon disappear in a year or two. But Christabel Trevor stood the microphone down to some Ghanaians.
I have entered into a covenant with you, the good people of Ghana, in which I have enumerated 26 actions that I'll take within my first 120 days.
When President John Dramani took the oath of office on January 7th, 2025, he promised to build a Ghana that works not just for a few, but for all. But today, exactly 6 months into that vision, many Ghanaians are asking, are we really seeing the change yet?
After a heated 2024 campaign, John Dramani Mahama returned to the presidency with bold promises of a 24-hour economy and a broad agenda to reset the country. His message struck a chord with some voters, but translating promises into results takes more than campaigning. The Mahama administration has launched the 24-hour economy, introduced the Mahama Care Plan, and proposed a new youth jobs and skills fund. Ejimewura. So far, public opinion on his administration has been positive, with Ghanaians sharing a wide range of views.
They are doing well, but it's not perfect as they promised before. We can all see that the prices of things in the markets are reducing. I'd give them maybe a 7.
He has done well. He's cut some taxes. ELV is gone. Betting tax is gone.
The depression that we were going through in terms of monetary affairs has been released a little.
Public frustration is rising, especially with the fragile energy power sector, resulting in unannounced power cuts in certain areas. The Mahama administration has defended the pace of progress owing to debts inherited. Critics argue there's little to show for his time in office so far. Some experts believe his administration is on course.
Based upon the figures I've seen and I've put out there, I think that some of us did not expect such a huge positive change within a relatively short period. As much as the government has the goodwill of people, we did not expect, like myself, that we are going to have such a change, a drastic change in an area of transportation, for example, in terms of fuel, right, in terms of the cedi to the dollar. Some of us never expected that. And you could see that even the borrowings that they are taking from Treasury bill, the percentages have gone down.
But just like the proverbial Oliver twist, Ghanaians want more.
We are supposed to have a monitoring and evaluation. And it doesn't have to be like any of those flashing programs that we have seen in time past, like President Kufuor's era. We have PSI, Presidential Special Initiative. We have different flagship programs under President Akufo-Addo. And we don't even have any theoretical framework for the free SHS.
A few things like security. Aside that, economy top-notch.
With 6 months down and about 3 more years to go, President Mahama's second coming is still taking shape. But in a country where people are tired of hardship, patience is slowly running out. Christabel Trevor, TV3 News, Accra.
Meanwhile, the Trades Union Congress and the Ghana National Association of Teachers are urging government to sustain current macroeconomic indicators through to the end of the year. Well, according to them, maintaining economic stability will help ease the cost of living pressures that many Ghanaians endured in 2024. The leadership of the union shared these concerns in an interview with a Labour Affairs correspondent, Daniel Opoku, as the government marks its first 6 months in office.
The government under President John Dramani Mahama is earning praise for its handling of the economy. With inflation currently hovering around 18% and lending rates near 23%, analysts say the country is showing signs of recovery after facing significant economic challenges in 2024. International rating agencies, including Fitch, have also given the government favorable assessments. But despite the progress, organized labor is urging caution. The Trades Union Congress and the Ghana National Association of Teachers are asking President Mahama to proceed carefully as the country navigates the economic recovery. TUC Secretary General Joshua Ansah says while the government deserves credit for stabilizing the economy, more must be done, especially on the issue of illegal mining, also known as galamsey.
I think we need to commend him. He said he will bring the dollar down. It has been down. He said so many things which we have seen it being done. The only thing is the galamsey fight. The only thing is that we also expect that 2026 minimum wage and base pay should have been negotiated. So we are beginning we ourselves are beginning the process by sending them within to the tripartite committee and the Fair Wages and Salaries Committee to commence discussions and negotiations on the base pay and the minimum wage.
General Secretary of NAT Thomas Tanko Musa also urged the president to stay within budgetary limits to sustain progress made so far.
Let's be careful with the add-ons that we are doing. For example, the payment of the capitation grant at the basic school level, we have now added the first years of the university, and we are also taking care of. They are all good. But let us be careful that we want to be doing further expansion of that free thing.
Both labor leaders say the government must stay committed to the current growth trajectory to deliver long-term relief to Ghanaians.
I don't want to give percentage, but I've already told you that we have commended the president for actually acting on his words. But the only disappointment is the galamsey thing that he has not done. And I'm urging the government or the president to actually do as he promised. He should revoke the LI, and I think I'll give him a plus.
Reduction in inflation, the fall of the dollar, the credit rating of Ghana, both locally and internationally, among other things. In fact, the narrative now is better than it used to be.
Organized labor says it's optimistic, but insists the government must remain focused and responsive to the needs of ordinary citizens.
In other news now, the minority in parliament has accused government of taking undue credit in the commerciality of the Eban Akuma oil and gas discoveries. Addressing the media in parliament, the deputy ranking on the Energy Committee, Collins Aduma-Kumenta, noted that the discoveries and relevant appraisal programs took place under the Akufo-Addo government.
The said statement with the subject Declaration of Commerciality for Eban Akuma Discoveries marks major milestone in Ghana's upstream petroleum sector. Represents a very shambolic attempt to credit the Mahama administration with success it has no hand in. It is instructive to note that both the Akuma and Eban discoveries were made under Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration and were among other discoveries made under that administration as a result of a deliberate plan for reserve replacement. The minority wonders how the Mahama administration that have nothing to do with the drilling of the Akuma and Eban exploration wells, as well as approval of the appraisal program of the two discoveries, will all of a sudden claim that the results of an Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration approved appraisal program that has resulted in the declaration of commerciality are a credit to it. The Mahama administration ought to learn that the upstream sector requires a lot of patience and deliberate planning whose results are not attainable in such non-existent record times, as it has disingenuously sought to communicate on the premises of statements of doubtful validity. Let the Mahama administration take note that these 7 discoveries cannot be appropriated by it as having occurred under its watch. The NPP's record in the development of Ghana's hydrocarbon resources is one that is enviable and evidenced by reforms to the upstream sector's fiscal regime from the Kufuor-Aliyu Mahama administration and the historic discoveries under the Akufo-Addo administration.
And before we go, an ACRA High Court has ordered the founder and leader of Heavyweight Champions International Ministry, Patricia Asedua-Isiama, popularly known as Nagrada, to open her defense in a case involving the alleged sharing of nude images of a prophet. While the embattled former fetish priestess turned evangelist has begun serving her 15-year jail term for charlatanic advertisement and defrauding by false pretense after being jailed by a circuit court. Lord Eduasare reports.
Patricia Asedua-Isiama, widely known as Nagrada, has been charged with 1 count of possession of obscene material and 3 counts of non-consensual sharing of intimate images. 3 others, Enoch Osukisi, Charles Omane, and Emmanuel Kofijesi, have also been charged with abetment of crime to wit non-consensual sharing of intimate images. In court on Monday, July 7, presiding judge Mary Ekwe Yanzu dismissed Nagrada's submission of no case and ordered her to open her defense. Her lawyers, led by Richard Balfour, informed the court that she had been incarcerated and requested an order for her to be brought to court from jail for the ruling. However, Justice Yanzu declined and delivered the ruling in her absence. The leader of the Heavyweight Champions International Ministry is thus expected to open her defense. The judge further ordered the defense lawyers to file their witness statements and directed prison officers to ensure that Nagrada is brought to court on the next adjourned date. The case has been adjourned to July 30 for a case management conference. According to the prosecution's facts, sometime in 2021, Nagrada, who owns Standard TV, now Today's TV, allegedly displayed the nude photos of Prophet Emmanuel Apiafomum to the public. Meanwhile, her lawyers have filed an appeal against the 15-year sentence by the Accra Circuit Court. Patricia Asedua-Isiama was in July 3 sentenced to 15 years imprisonment in hard labor by an Accra Circuit Court on multiple counts of charlatanic advertisement and defrauding by false pretense. Court documents filed by Richard Balfour, her lead counsel, indicated that the appeal was premised on grounds that the judge in the matter erred in law by shifting the burden of proof to his client, thereby requiring her to prove her innocence, although the prosecution failed to present substantive evidence. They also noted in the appeal that the trial judge demonstrated manifest bias and personal animosity towards the petitioner by persistently engaging in confrontations, harassment, and intimidation of the accused lawyers in open court, thereby denying her adequate and effective representation. They therefore want the High Court to set aside the conviction and sentence. Lord Eduasare, TV3 News, Accra.
And that's our wrap up the 6 a.m. news right here on TV3. My name is Judith Brown. A pleasure coming to you this morning. We'll go for a short break. When we're back, we have the rest of New Day. Bye-bye.